Again, you see me here in my classroom. And it was here about 2 months ago that when we were reading Romeo and Juliet, that I offhandedly said to my students during the infamous balcony scene, I just don't know if I believe in love. To which a student, who we shall refer to as young A, raised his hand. He said, Miss Norman, why don't you believe in love? Is it because you can never find a boyfriend? I was rendered speechless for a moment. Teenagers sure do say the darndest things. But as a teacher and a bibliophile, I decided to take on a challenge. I will be reading two books this Valentine's Day weekend. One of them is a smutty, smutty bodice ripper, and the other is The Love Hypothesis. We shall see. Will these two books change Miss Norman's mind? Or will we decide that maybe young A was right? Maybe it's just because I can't get a boyfriend. What's up, my good friends? So, exactly a year ago, I attempted my very first reading vlog. It didn't go well. I failed. It was a 24-hour Valentine's Day reading vlog, sort of like poking fun at myself. Sad single girl reads trashy romance. I didn't read the trashy romance. I only got about 100 pages. It's February 11th. The day is once again upon us. And I'm going to read the heck out of Come Faith, Come Fire. Let's just take a moment to appreciate the cover. So, from what I remember, Raphael is our love interest. I want to say Jasmine. I'm only saying Jasmine because she is a gypsy. And if the burning sad people don't tip you off, this takes place during the Spanish Inquisition. So, here's the prologue. Spain, September of 1491. Let's read a bodice ripper. I just read the prologue of Come Faith, Come Fire, and I do remember the point of view being all over the place, which it was. It was, there was some heads hopping in there, but I didn't even remember what it was about. It was an assassination, and it took place in a church, I think, or a cathedral. I think it's a made-up town in Spain. I'm not sure. I'm pretty good at geography, and I'm fluent in Spanish, but I've never heard of this city, so I'm gonna look it up. Yeah, it's definitely a real city. I know it as Zaragoza, but Saragossa is the way you say it in English. That's embarrassing AF. During the Inquisition, and a priest is assassinated, and he utters these mysterious last words. Gypsy Terra or something, I don't know. But the main character, her name is not Esmeralda, it's Maria. So, I'm gonna keep going. Just had a bath, was reading in the bath, starting to get the sleepies, but let's go over our characters. We have Maria, Raphael, Maria's father, and Ramon the stable boy. So Raphael has been promised to the church, he belongs to God, and Maria goes to meet Mr. Raphael under a tree in typical bodice ripper fashion. They fuck under this tree. Maria curses God, saying, "Screw you, God, he's mine, he's mine." He comes in her, and they make a child, maybe, I don't know. She doesn't know she's pregnant, but he was gonna pull out, and she like wrapped his legs around him and stopped it. And then Daddy comes home, sees the lovebirds, doesn't really care that they just had sex. He figured it out. He says, "Raphael, they're looking for you." Raphael had just made plans earlier with our friend Maria to run away and join Christopher Columbus's journey to India. Well, that's not happening anymore because Raphael gets taken to go see the Grand Inquisitor. On her way back home, Maria is sexually assaulted by Mr. Ramon, the stable boy, and she goes inside, she sees her sick mother, and then she prays to God. I'm on page 60. Short update, my lovelies. Been sleeping most of the day on page 75. Now we are in the point of view of the Grand Inquisitor. Not sure how long we're gonna stay there, but Raphael is about to go speak to him, and stuff's probably gonna go down. I'm gonna read here a short passage from the book. I'm sorry if you hear my guinea pigs squeaking and chattering in the background. They're arguing with each other at the moment. But this is something I'm about to read that's really common in books about the Inquisition. So listen up for a second. A witch killed and butchered a young woman who was with child, he whispered then. Yes, and she cut off the fingers of the unborn child for use in a secret rite. At the table, the effect was more than he had intended or anticipated. The good nuns gasped, covering their faces with their hands. Doña Alicia cried out, the sound like that of a wounded lamb, and Senora de Estella swayed in her chair, almost swooning, her expression a blend of pain and horror. No more, Pastor Primera, please, no more. I am sorry, the rotund prelate responded hastily. Only I meant to suggest that the greatest danger to us, to our lives, earthly and internal, and the great danger to Spain as well, rests in those dark arts practiced in secret by the enemies of God. So, we know I am an atheist, and the Spanish Inquisition was probably one of the worst things Christians ever did. And their fear of non-Christians is still something that lingers in Christianity today. Now, Spain is a Catholic country. These are all Catholics back then. I was never Catholic. I was a Lutheran, so I can't speak for Catholics, but I can speak for Lutherans. And Lutherans tend to be more tolerant of non-Christians. But when Christianity was a young religion, about the age of Islam now, this kind of stuff was going on. So we can see why I'm not a fan. What happened to that woman, Pastor Primera? She heard herself asking. Oh, do not tell us. It is too horrible, implored Senora Castagnon. Boiled alive, said the pastor, wiping his mouth on his sleeve. It was difficult to decide what to do with her. Burning is prescribed for witches, but her offense was so heinous, so beyond the pale, as we say, so eventually they decided to boil her. Maria has trapped Mr. Ramon the stable boy. She has seduced him up into a hayloft to get caught by Raphael. And let's just take a moment to appreciate this prose. Oh no, she feigned a coy pout. First let me see you, and then I shall disrobe, very slowly, so that we can both enjoy the effect of my nakedness on that part of you which I shall possess. Gulping and chortling beyond ecstasy, Ramon yanked off his boots and tossed them down onto the stable floor. One of them almost struck Raphael in the head as he climbed carefully up the ladder. Then Ramon ripped off his blue shirt and grabbed at a few unopened buckles on his leather breeches. Dancing one-legged on the piled hay, he pulled the breeches off and stood before Maria, fully tumescent and throbbing. The two of us will show you a thing or two, he said, swaggering proudly. Protected little senorita like you, but you've never seen any as big as ... And what is this? Raphael growled malevolently, climbing into the loft. He had a coil of rope and some harness straps. Poor Ramon. Just an instant ago, he had been a proud cock of the haymow, all croning and cackle, but now he drooped and shrank like a skittish pup at the sight of a gun. How can I not love this? This is how you can tell this book was like written for lonely housewives. It was part of a romance mailing list. Look at that beautiful lady. Dolly. Mommy Dearest. I've heard of that movie. I wonder what would happen if I filled this out and sent it in. Fantasies with the Doubleday Book Club, huh? Let's go this side. Huh. Yeah, well, not gonna do it. Probably the most famous example of a real-life notorious being brought to life in a book, in a work of historical fiction, is Leo Tolstoy's portrayal of Napoleon. And I can say, with about as much certainty as an elephant can say of outer space, that Christopher Columbus, his character in Come Faith, Come Fire, blows Tolstoy's Napoleon out of the water. Ugh. Ugh. Yikes. Ugh. These people are sick. Holy. I am quite tired, so I'm gonna hit the hay for the night. Several members of Maria's family have been garroted. Maria has been told that she is a psychic gypsy, and Raphael is still in the priesthood, and Christopher Columbus is still MIA. See y'all tomorrow. I'm gonna join some reading sprints. I love these. Let's be alone together. As you can tell by my hair, I have been laying down for quite a while. I don't tend to do my hair on weekends, but I tend to film a lot on weekends. So unlike my students, you guys get the realest version of me, which is a sloppy mess. But I'm done with this. And it was so repetitive and weird, and it had one of my least favorite tropes, which is he rapes her, but she likes it in the end. So I was just like disgusted by that. All I will say is that the characters of Isabella and Ferdinand were actually quite entertaining. I don't know if you guys know this, but Isabella and Ferdinand were actually the parents of Catherine of Aragon, who was Henry VIII's first wife. And she was very regal, and a lot of people believed, because of her lineage, that she was what a queen should be. A queen should not be a commoner. So yeah, and Isabella very much valued academia for women, and Henry really connected with that, Henry VIII, because he was raised by his mother. He was the second born, and his mother, he was really close with his mother. His mother did a lot of tutoring. She was kind of overprotective of her children, especially after Prince Arthur died of the sweating sickness. What was the sweating sickness? Wolf Hall. I've heard of that. Ooh, 2015. Okay, this is old, but the sweating sickness, you would sweat for a little bit and then you die. People really don't know what it was, but we're starting to think that it was an unknown variant of hantavirus, which which is spread by rats. So kind of like the plague, the bubonic plague, which was spread by rats. Oh, a little baby. But yeah, so very mysterious illness. Yeah. They think it was the sweating sickness. They're not sure. But I really enjoyed the characters Isabella and Ferdinand. Isabella was snarky. She was very assertive for a woman, especially a woman of her time. And it felt realistic. Like, she wasn't saying things that would get her in trouble. She was just very forceful. Now, answer to the big question. did this book make me believe in love? Hell no. But I will say, Raphael and Maria definitely deserve their happily ever after. So, Come Faith, Come Fire, smutty romance set during the Spanish Inquisition. Entertaining, but it's going straight to half-price books. Moving on to this. Takes place in academia. I am an academic. Let's see if academia leads me to believe in love. 50 pages in, and I love it. I love the way they're portraying these STEM PhDs as just normal people. And first of all, we need more women in STEM and not just medicine. We have plenty of medical doctors now that are females, but not research students. So love that. But I feel like people think super smart individuals don't have the same social life or wants and desires, or that weird, like, all weirdos spend time in academia and grad school that were just weird. And to a certain extent, that's true. Like, these people are kind of weird, but they're weird in a normal way. They're awkward and they form friendships and they're just normal people. And I hear this book is smutty. I'm excited for contemporary smut. I very much like contemporary writing a whole lot better than dated writing and classic writing. I find it very slow and dull, and I love the voice in this. Will this book make me believe in love, like actual romantic love with a romantic attachment at soulmates? I don't know. We'll see. I love this little meta moment here. Yes, you know they're setting up like ground rules for their fake dating situation. How many times have you done this? 0, but I am familiar with the trope. Fake dating is a huge trope in romance, so love the meta. Love the self-awareness, Miss Allie Hazelwood. Alright, this is just funnier and funnier. She knew that she could do this, as she had worked her way up to a 97th percentile on the verbal portion of the GRE. She could do anything, or as good as, but still, it seemed like a horrible idea. 97th percentile! I only got in the 95th! Oh my god. This fictional character in a rom-com is smarter than me. I just read a really interesting and realistic part of the love hypothesis. So Olive, our heroine, is in the lab. Heroine in the lab, that sounds bad. But our MC was in the lab when a guy comes in fuming because her quote-unquote boyfriend didn't pass his dissertation. And she texts him, she's like, why the fuck did you do this? Why do you have to be a jerk about it? And he's like, I don't care about this guy. I refused the dissertation, not him. Now I understand where this author is coming from in writing this, because what Adam said here proves he has a lot of integrity as a professor. But in academia, it's just like real life. There are people who don't like you. And there are professors who do fail kids, especially if they have a tenure, that do fail kids that they don't like just because they don't like them. An amazing professor. And what a realistic portrayal of what it feels like to just have your baby just slaughtered. And as a writer, I get that. I take critiques all the time. But it passes. And so I'm predicting we're gonna see, you know, a little bit of time. She's gonna apologize for saying fuck you, and things are gonna be good. But this guy's a great teacher, even though he may be a little harsh. And teachers like him are rare. Good work, Allie Hazelwood. Day 3 of the reading vlog has come to an end. I will finish the love hypothesis tomorrow. And we'll see. Tomorrow's Valentine's Day. Will I discover love? We'll see. Unfortunate news, my good friend. It seems that this vlog will not go out before Valentine's Day, so if you are watching this, it's after Valentine's Day. But still, I will be searching for love. Here I am again in my classroom. I finished it. Did it convince me of love? No. Did I like it? Yes. I don't know. It got really sloggy in the middle. It wasn't nearly as smutty as I thought it was going to be, but it's good rep for women in STEM. But as this week draws to a close, I can certainly say, even though I wasn't taught love from the love hypothesis or come faith, come fire, I found love anyway. This is what it looks like. It's beautiful.